Picture this. You're walking into a massive sports bar on opening night. There are 30 huge screens lining the walls, all perfectly synced to the exact same game. It looks effortless. But if you were to look behind those screens, you might expect a terrifying rat king of thick, expensive HDMI cables running all the way back to a single cable box.
Which would be, honestly, just an absolute nightmare to install, let alone troubleshoot.
Right. But the reality is completely different, and we've got a stack of specs and sources today to untangle how this actually works. Today, we're doing a deep dive into the invisible infrastructure of those giant video displays, and it all comes down to a device with a name straight out of science fiction, the Avenview CTRLPro-MIP IP controller.
Yeah, it's definitely a mouthful. But to understand the magic here, you have to realize that HDMI cables lose signal over long distances. So instead of HDMI, commercial setups use standard, cheap internet cable, like CLV5 or CT6, but pushing high-definition video through a standard network cable requires some heavy lifting.
Because an internet cable wasn't originally designed to carry uncompressed 4K video, it's like trying to force a fire hose of water through a garden hose.
Oh, absolutely. And that's where the Avenview controller steps in.
Wow.
It handles what's called point-to-multipoint distribution. So instead of just blasting the raw video everywhere, it acts as a highly efficient logistics hub.
Okay, so it's directing traffic.
Exactly. It compresses and packages the video and audio data into these precise digital packets, routes them through standard network switches, and then reassembles them at each screen. Zero signal loss. No traffic jams.
I have to stop you there, though. We live in an era where I can wirelessly cast a 4K movie from my phone to my TV in, 2 seconds. Why on earth is a commercial setup still relying on physical Cat6 cables and really old-school connection types? The specs mention things like RS-232 ports and telnet commands. It feels incredibly archaic.
Well, it sounds archaic until you realize the stakes. Consumer Wi-Fi is fine for your living room, but it drops data packets all the time.
Which we probably don't even notice at home.
Right. But if you drop a packet in a massive commercial video wall, the synchronization breaks, and one screen out of 30 just glitches out. It ruins the entire illusion. Those older standards like RS-232, that's a heavy-duty industrial language computers use to talk to each other. It guarantees that when a command is sent, it is received. No exceptions.
So it's the difference between a casual text message and sending a certified letter.
Precisely. And the physical design totally reflects that need for absolute reliability. It uses PoE. So power over Ethernet.
Meaning the device gets its power and data through the exact same cable.
Yes, which minimizes fail points. Plus, it runs on a tiny 1.5 watts of power. Oh, and it even includes an 8 kV ESD protector.
Which is basically a tiny lightning rod, right? So if someone shuffles across a carpet and static shocks the system, it doesn't fry a multi-$1,000 video setup.
Exactly. It isolates the surge and just keeps the system running smoothly.
Okay, so it's an indestructible, highly efficient logistics hub. But at the end of the day, an actual human being has to buy this and set it up. Looking at the retail side over at HDTV Supply, the MSRP is just $299.
Which is surprisingly accessible for commercial-grade hardware, really.
It is. And if you scour the checkout details, there's even a hidden 10% off discount code. But digging into the customer reviews reveals a lot about this industry. There's a 4-star review from a buyer named John M., who noted the equipment worked perfectly, but the store staff was, quote, less than friendly, but answered my question.
I saw that, which is hilarious. But it highlights a crucial dynamic in specialized AV retail. The company's response to him was highly professional. They apologized for the friction. But in this field, peace of mind trumps a friendly smile. Buyers are relying on tech support that actually knows the complex answers, and they are backed by a 3-year limited warranty.
Yeah, if you were installing a sports bar, you care about the warranty and the technical accuracy, not the bedside manner. So the next time you're sitting in a sports bar or walking through an airport, look up at those perfectly synced screens. You now know there isn't a massive tangle of expensive HDMI cords hiding in the ceiling.
No, there's likely a tiny 1.5-watt controller working flawlessly behind the scenes, packaging and routing data so you never miss a frame. They are the quiet heroes of our modern visual infrastructure.
Which leaves you with something to think about. As our own homes fill up with smart displays, complex audio, and a screen in almost every room, how long before the wireless chaos becomes too much? And we all have to start installing commercial-grade video traffic cops just to watch TV in our living rooms.